Restaurants are businesses and businesses need to make money, he says. If someone is trying to spend less or eat less, it's better to order 1 or 2 appetizers. Really? He is a hard no on grown-ups ordering from the kids menu while dining on site because it takes waitstaff just as much time to serve a smaller portion as it does a regular-sized one. Takeout, though, could be another matter, Sima says. Great American Restaurant CEO John Norton also isn't a fan of the practice. At his restaurants, well, a lot of us struggle to eat all the food in an adult order, and you can put it in the fridge, but if you can't get back to it, you end up wasting the food. So if you can save that mess and headache and waste by just ordering less food, wouldn't it be interesting to be able to order a half order? I have seen that on menus, just half order instead of kids menu. Is the portion size proportionate to half? Anyway, back to this. At his restaurants, which include nearly 20 locations in Northern Virginia and suburban Maryland, the items on the kids menu are priced lower with the hope of enticing families, including moms and dads, who will order full-sized entrees and maybe an extra appetizer or a glass of wine. Quote, they are a loss leader similar to happy hour pricing, Norton says, but not all restaurants structure their prices that way. David Hopkins, a longtime restaurant manager who is now the president of the 15 Group, a consulting agency aimed at helping restaurants maximize profits, says kids' food can be profitable even if it doesn't amount to much. He says that to a restaurant, every dollar of revenue is gold. Even the less than $10 customers might shell out for a meal from the kids' menu. Consider, he says, that once a restaurant has opened its doors, its costs, rent, utilities, staff, and the like are mostly fixed. The only additional costs it will incur are the cost of the product and a small percentage for credit card sales. So, as long as restaurants price their kids' meals to cover that, which he says isn't too hard, as most don't involve expensive ingredients, they will still come out ahead. A restaurant could theoretically lose out on the money a diner might have spent ordering a more expensive adult-sized entree, but for many diners, the decision isn't between an adult or kid-sized meal. It's between a takeout kids' dinner at a restaurant and a fast food order. That's exactly the calculation that Garrett makes. She has encountered critics, haters, she calls them, who say she's stealing from restaurants. Quote, the way I look at it, there's no way I could do this if I was spending $20 a day for the adult-sized portions. So does the restaurant want my $8 or $10, or does it want $0? Unquote. Even if a menu states that it's for kids and some specify that means 12 or under, few restaurants will enforce it. In one TikTok video, Garrett explains that not once in her history of ordering kids' meals for herself for takeout has she been questioned about it, even at places that specify an age limit. That might be, she says, because by the time she has arrived for pickup, she has already paid, and some places can't easily refund someone who hasn't paid through their app. Or the person handing over her meal might not even know its contents, she notes. And besides, she says, there's no way for a restaurant to know whether she is, in fact, planning to serve the meal to a child. Sima says the restaurateurs he has talked to say it's not worth the ill will they might engender by denying an order. They're in the hospitality business after all. And although kids' menus are getting attention on social media at the moment, it's not likely that even millions of eyeballs on videos will translate to a shift in dining patterns that restaurants will feel in a meaningful way. Henkes says restaurants might be concerned about rising orders from kids' menus, but only because it indicates that consumers are feeling financially pinched. Yeah! It could be a yellow flag for understanding your patron's financial situation, he says. If you see a big uptick in kids' menu sales, it might tell you your patrons are worried. Hopkins agrees that the potential impact of kids' menu trends isn't something that restaurant owners should lose sleep over. It's not the end of the world, he says. Things get blown up online, but a small, tiny percentage of people are actually participating. And many restaurants see the viral videos, even those aimed at saving customers money, as boons. The adage about there being no such thing as bad publicity endures in the age of TikTok. Hinkes says restaurants are secretly pleased with some of these social media hacks because it keeps their brands top of mind. Well, that's great to hear. And that's an interesting hack. Have you ever ordered from the kids menu for yourself? I've thought about it, but often the offerings are just like noodles, chicken fingers, and things that I don't necessarily want to eat. But, it might be worth looking into. Sometimes you're trapped somewhere and your only options for food are restaurants, right? And if you don't want a burger or fast food, then, just looking on your phone and figuring out if there's a kids menu item for you, especially if you can double the proportion, like that fettuccine Alfredo with chicken hack, on the road, on the run, it could be worthwhile. But let me know what you think in the comments, Stitches and Duets.